everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new day. So here I am doing a voiceover, something that I am not a fan of, but yet when I'm actually recording the video, I'm thinking just do a voiceover so I can listen to Christmas music. So here I am. Now the recording of this video happened the day of Thanksgiving, so I'm actually recording some of the things I did Thanksgiving morning or just to get our meal ready. But the voiceover is taking place on December 1st. So welcome to the first day of Vlogmas. So what I'm doing here is making a homemade pumpkin pie. And the recipe I'm using is the Libby's famous pumpkin pie recipe. So if you've never tried Libby's recipe, just look it up on Google or YouTube. You'll find plenty on it. So that's all I'm using as the recipe. So now pumpkin pie is my favorite type of pie. And when I first moved here, we used to buy our pumpkin pies. I had never made one before until I took the plunge and tried it. And with the cost of today's pies in the store, we couldn't afford to buy a pie. I think a pie here at Festival Foods, which has the best pumpkin pie in all the stores around us, but the cost of it is like $12 or $14 for a whole pie, which years ago it only used to be $5 or $6. So with that cost, I'm glad I already know how to make a pumpkin pie and we can make our own now. So ever since I started making pumpkin pies, we don't buy them at the store anymore. Now, the only thing with Libby's is I do add a little more cinnamon than it calls for, and I actually add pumpkin pie spice to this also, which Libby's does not call for. Now, when I first started making pumpkin pie, I actually did not start off using Libby's recipe. I don't even remember what recipe I used. It was like a 3-ingredient recipe or a 4-ingredient. But then I tried Libby's and I stuck with that. So since it's just Glenn and I only made a pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, just one pie, no other desserts. I think in past years I have made like a pumpkin pie and an apple pie, but with just being two of us, it just doesn't make sense to make multiple desserts. If we want an apple pie, we'll just make it another time. All right, everyone. So now we are done with the pumpkin pie section of the video. I never thought that was going to end, but here we are with our turkey. And our turkey is only about 10 pounds, not even 11 pounds, but that's the perfect size for just two of us. It allotted us, I don't know how many meals throughout the weekend, but we got plenty off of it. But all I do, it's a butter ball, and normally we would put butter under the skin, but we actually, for many years now, you see me turning the turkey upside down. That's how we bake our turkey. And we do this because with the breast at the bottom where all the juices are going to flow, it's going to keep the breast moist throughout the whole baking time. And it works. We started doing this many years ago. Glenn saw it on a video or something. I don't know what he saw it on, but he thought we would try it that way. And since we tried it that way, we have never gone back to baking the turkey right side up. So the breasts cook at the bottom, they stay moist in all those juices. And when we ate our meal, the breast was really moist. It was so good. So this is actually how we bake our turkey. If there's anybody else out there who bakes their turkey this way, drop it down in the comments. But this is the only way we do it. We don't put butter under the skin. We just season it with seasoned salt, pepper, onion powder, and then with being a small turkey, it only takes about 3 to 4 hours to cook in the oven. So, all right, so that's all there is to cooking our turkey. We put the neck in there and all the giblets and everything. So yeah, we make use of everything, and that's our turkey. So I'm just going to cover it and put it in the oven. All right, so now I got a stovetop full of food going. Here I have the gravy that I make from the juices of the turkey. Here I've got the mashed potatoes done already. And my stove is a mess once again. So if you see my stove a mess, that's because I'm cooking. And if you can cook without, creating a big mess on your stove, more power to you. But here I have a can of candied yams with marshmallows to give it sweetness. And then here I have the stuffing for Glenn. He is using stovetop stuffing this year, along with ground beef and raisins and onion added. And all I got going here is I'm going to make some or warm up some dinner rolls. These are the Great Value heat or brown and serve, but the texture of these are a little different than the normal brown and serve rolls, and I actually really like these. So yeah, I would get these again. So we got a 1 pack of 12, and we only use 5 on the night of Thanksgiving, and then the night after when we had leftovers, we used another 5. And then I think during lunch, I actually used the lunch the next day. So 2 days after Thanksgiving, I used the remaining 2. So we used them all. All right, everyone. So our turkey is done, and this is how it looks. It's nice and browned on top. The only tricky thing to this, cooking it upside down, is getting the breast out from the bottom. Normally I try to flip it over so it's still an intact turkey, but normally doesn't work. So yeah, that's the biggest thing of this. Here you can see I'm using a spatula and some tongs to try to flip it, but the turkey is actually so soft and tender that it just falls apart. But that's okay. It's an imperfect looking turkey, but it still tasted really good. Like I said before, the breast was really moist and juicy, so we have no complaints. It fell apart, but so what? All right, everyone. So now I've served the plates so we can eat our Thanksgiving meal. And as you can see, I broke out the good china in these divider styrofoam plates because they work for us. And here you can see that Glenn is having some breast with wing. He had a wing, and there you have the candied yams, the rolls. I did warm up some corn from the can, the mashed potatoes with gravy that I made from the juice, and in the corner there is his stuffing. And here you have my plate. Basically, I just had some of the breast with gravy on it, and everything else is the same for Glenn's except the stuffing. I didn't have no stuffing. And he also did have a can of cranberry sauce, but I did not. I don't like cranberries, so yeah, that was our Thanksgiving meal, and it was delicious. All right, so to end the night, as you can see here, we ended it with a slice of pumpkin pie. And I think Glenn might have had some coffee with his. He usually likes to have coffee with his snacks. So this was the end of our Thanksgiving, and it was a wonderful Thanksgiving. We still watched Grumpy Old Men, and I believe I tell the story of how we watched it in another video. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed Vlogmas Day 1, and I hope you enjoyed this little video of our Thanksgiving Day meal. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. I really appreciate all the support you give my channel. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.